Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I don't know how this was not done earlier than today, and that is Russia finally, you would have expected this to happen earlier, puts Zelensky on wanted list. I thought that was a given. The chief, quote unquote, of your enemy should be on your wanted list day one. But hey, let's talk about it. Sputnik. Russia puts Zelensky on wanted list 23 minutes ago. So does it mean that the Russians will get him dead or alive? According to the American way of putting someone on wanted list, yeah, that's exactly what it means. We're going to discuss Putin's promise that he made to former Israeli Prime Minister Bennett. Remember that occurred in the 26th, 24th, 25th, right, first or second day after the Russians invaded unprovoked Ukraine. Bennett, the then Prime Minister of Israel, visited Putin in Moscow. And according to him, an interview they conducted, and for about 4 hours, I featured that in one of my videos. Bennett said that he asked Putin if he's going to kill Zelensky, and Putin on 2 occasions told him, no, I'm not going to kill this guy, and promise me. And Putin said, we're not going to kill Zelensky. I'm not going to kill Zelensky. Or, you see, words have meaning. I will not kill Zelensky doesn't mean that he is not going to kill Zelensky on my orders. But hey, that's a different interpretation. It was not me. I did it. So, and then if you remember, Bennett called from Moscow as he got out of Putin's office or wherever they met. He called Bennett while he was on the airport to go back to Israel. I think he went back to Israel at that point. He called Zelensky. He got his number. He got through. Brothers are brothers. Called Zelensky Stein, who was in a bunker, jerking off of stress, and told him, hey, Putin said he's not going to kill you. And if you remember, Zelensky said, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? And then in 2 hours, Zelensky came out in front of the TVs and said, I'm not afraid. That's how weasels do. Everything I said is true, and you can verify that. You might not like it, some of you, but that's a fact. According to not only Bennett, according to Western media as well. Now, what's changed? Remember, the Americans, when they have someone on the wanted list, doesn't matter what kind of CIA drone hits you in Afghanistan. You're on a wanted list. So let's look over this article, which is very short. Russia's Interior Ministry has put Volodymyr Zelensky on its wanted list, according to the department's database. Now I'm quoting Volodymyr in Ukrainian, Alexandrovich, I don't know where these guys name themselves Alexandrovich a lot, Alexei Reznikov, who's also a Zelensky Stein. Zelensky Stein calls Alexandrovich. I mean, Alexandrovich is a Greek name, which means I think leader of men or something like this. Alexander the Great, leader of men, if I remember correctly. And they name themselves like that. Yes, you are leader of men being chosen, I guess so. So January 25, next to Ceausescu. He was born in what, 24th or 26th? Or Elena, in the same area. Good. But Ceausescu was not a Zelensky Stein. 1978, wasn't that the World Cup in Argentina? Yes, it was, when they won with Mario Kempes. This is what, that was in 78. Anyway, wanted under an article of the criminal code, and I'm quoting, the database reads, the crime for which he is wanted has not been disclosed. The enemy of my country. The database also indicates his place of birth, Krivoy Rog, Dnipropetrovsk region of Ukraine. Sputnik, according to Sputnik, Zelensky was put on Russia's wanted list under an article of the criminal code by the Ministry of Internal Affairs. And here he is, papara zup. Don't shoot, don't shoot. I don't know how you say it in Russian or in Yiddish. Don't shoot, don't shoot. Zelensky was born on January. It became the president in 2019 on the platform of bringing peace in Donbass. Now, it's true that bringing peace, meaning eradicating those guys in Donbass or negotiating with them. It didn't mean probably how, maybe he said by negotiating, but if the other guys don't want to negotiate in good faith, then we have to do what we do best, provoke them, and then we say we are attacked. Therefore, please help us. We are the victims. Works fine? Yeah, it looks in the Bible too. Anyway, so what's going on over here? How come Zelensky was placed on a wanted list now? Is this some piece of news that these guys just got wind of right now and he was placed on that in the 25th of February 2022? I would have thought he was on this a long time ago, and I'm pretty sure that Putin is on the same list. Now, will the Russians now try to assassinate the president-elect of half of Ukraine and elected by half of Ukraine, or not half, maybe by 80%, because remember Donbass and those guys did not vote. They were not part of Ukraine or something. Anyway, after 2014. And Crimea as well. Democracy, pure democracy, referenda. So, we're gonna wait for that. I don't think it makes any, not any sense. It's gonna be simply a symbolic thing. But that would rile up these guys. What if these guys are doing it before the Russians are doing it and then blame the Russians? Because if this, let's say the Russians, let's say tomorrow, let's say Zelensky's airplane is blown up, or he's just found with a few bullets or poisoned or something. Do you think that piece of news will give these imbeciles ammunition to propagandize their baboons? I mean, will this benefit them or not, or hurt them? Or I'm talking about the guys behind all this. No, they will use it as, see, the Russians did this, the Russians are criminals, the Russians are assassins and all that. That's how it's going to be used. Now, if that's a possibility, why don't they do it first? Let's say, I don't know, CIA goes and checks on Zelensky, and then after that Zelensky suddenly, I don't know, has a stroke, mini stroke, and incapacitates him. Like, I don't know, Stalin, or the two Boeing whistleblowers, one shot himself and the other one, I don't know, got an infection, sudden infection, and died. But hey, Putin did it. And then they will say, oh, see, that coincides right here and correlates with the Russia puts Zelensky on wanted list. See those criminals. So either way, for them is a win-win. If Zelensky dies, he's going to be a martyr portrayed here. And the annals of Ukraine, if Ukraine doesn't fall to Russia, which I suspect it will, eventually. I mean, the odds are that eventually Russia will push, unless NATO is doing what it's trying to do right now, which is really get involved in a, they think, conventional war against Russia. In Ukraine only, and Russia, not in their, on their turf. No, niet. So, either way, these guys are going to win. So why not do it? Do you think they will do it? Possibility, 100%. Probability, I don't know, at least 50%. At least, and then they're going to bring someone else. They will bring, I don't know, Joshua David Stein. I want to bro Joshua David Stein. He's going to be the interim leader of Ukraine, the Ukrainian Joshua. Okay, David Stein, or I don't know, Davidsburg, or Davis Man, or Kosman, or whatever. Doesn't really matter. The same garbage with a different face. That's how someone said about certain things. So for the Russians, what would be for the Russians? If they would, let's say, will they benefit if he dies? It's just going to be a, yeah, we killed the guy. that had a big mouth and was on the payroll of those guys. Anything else? I don't think so. Maybe some of us will say, well, maybe it was not the right thing and it was kind of a useless strike, useless use of bullet or Novichok or poison or missile to hit the plane or something. It was too much money for that guy. Let him be, because this guy is going to be replaced by David Stein overnight with the same features and all that. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.